Hello, I'm Lucy. I'm a fine art beader and I paint with beads. I've been asked quite a number of times how to use the needle threader on the Janome QDC 5270 machine, so I thought I would show you how to do that today, and also how to load the bobbin for good measure. Some of the pictures in the instruction book, they are very detailed and they're very accurate, but they're almost too detailed. And of course they're drawn at a particular angle, and that angle isn't quite the same as the angle at which you're going to be threading the machine. So it is quite confusing when you look at the instructions. So let's get on, and let's start with the spool of thread. So put your thread on your spool holder. So one of the first things that you might notice are numbers on the machine itself. So it goes from 1 at the back here, 2 along the top, down to 3, up, back to 4 through this funny little device here, 5, which is going round the back, 6 through there, and 7 up the other side. So we're going to go through 1 to 5 first of all, because that is the same whether you are using the needle threader or not. 1, 2, 3, up again, 4, down to 5, at the back, across to 7, and round. So hold on to your thread from the spool, and step 1, pull it through there, 2, all the way down that way, and so 3 is down and back up, and 4 is just putting it back through this little contraption, and it clicks all the way through and then back down. So hold on to your thread and go through 1, 2, 3 and 4, and bring the thread down. So that's 1 to 4. I'm going in handheld here because I think it's just perhaps easier to try and show you. And there is a piece of metalwork here that you want to avoid with the thread. Okay, so you want to take your thread to the right of it and then behind. First thing to point out is a little bar there, and it's very hard to show, but your thread's going to go behind that little horizontal bar all the way to the left. So this is a fiddly bit, so I'm going to try and do this. There we go, and it clicks across. So it's got into that tiny little hole over there. That's all that 5 is. And you would do that whether you are using the needle threader device or not. If you're not using the needle threader device, you just thread it front to back. And if you are using it, we'll follow through steps 6 and 7. Now then, on to step 6. And what you're going to try and do is take your thread and put it through this little catch here, and there's a tiny little hole that it needs to go through. So I just zoom in on that so you can see that. So it's going to be through those jaws and into that little triangular kind of gap thing there. Okay, so I'm going to have to change the camera again. Let's take the thread, okay, and we'll pull it through and pull it across. When you know you've got the thread in place, you'll see it move about. Okay, so I'm just tugging on it to show you. For step 7, you just take your thread across that little thing there and then use your needle cutter. Now I've experimented with going up and over or underneath and up. It hasn't made a whole lot of difference at all. And if the thread comes undone like that, do not worry, it will work. So I'll just show you the next step, which is just a miracle. You push down on that little lever and you go right down to about, let's see, it's about a centimetre. Sorry, it's so wobbly. And then release it. And then what you have is a little loop here, and you just pull the loop through. Sorry, my finger's in front. I'll change my hands and pull it through. It's as simple as that. So take it to the back, through the bar, all the way to the left, through that gubbins thing, make sure it's gone through that little tiny hole, over to the back, cut it off, go down, go back up and pull that out. Easy peasy. Now for dealing with the bobbin, you open the base here by just pulling back on that little grooved bit there, and it pops up, and you pull it out, put it to one side. Now I've already prepared my bobbin with some thread, and note that you hold the bobbin in your right hand and the end of the thread in your left, and you just drop it in that way. And for this purposes, we're going to go and take that little loop of thread here, and I'll just zoom in a little bit, and we're going to take it underneath that hook. And again, there's some numbers there. It says 1 and 2. And what we're going to do for this example is we're going to pull that thread all the way around there and then cut it off here like that. There's another thread cutter in there, and that actually gives you the perfect length for the start of a new row. And you don't have to. You can, if you want, you can pull the thread up by making the needle go up and down, but you can start straight away like this, and you just replace the cover on the top like that, and you are ready to sew. Okay, so I'm going to try and demonstrate what I mean. I have the top thread here, which I'm going to put to the back, and the bobbin that I've just put into the base, and a little bit of scrap here. Put the footer down, and I'm not going to use the press foot. I'm just going to start it going, and we'll start away, and we're going to stop. I'm going to do a cut at the end here, and so it's cut the threads at this very end. I shall take that out. So that thread and this thread are cut, and you can see the one where the bobbin thread here is also very, very short, and the only thread you need to cut is this one, if you have the bobbin thread right in there and using that thread cutter. Okay, so it saves you tons of time. There's only one thread to cut ever, and that's brilliant. I hope that was useful for you. Do come back next time for some more art and craft videos, and please subscribe, and please like, and please share, and all those good things. Please send in your comments and questions, because that's always very interesting. So see you next time. I'm Lucy, I'm a fine art beader, and I paint with beads.